Hello, Watem here, welcome back to some more Umineko When Seagulls Cry. Let us continue.
何を怯えておるか。わらはもはや許したぞ。さてカノン、続けようではないか。
何をだまさか彼女にとどめを刺せとでも言うつもりなのか。
ああ、違う違う。まだ終わっちゃいないだろうが。
何をだ、はぐらかすな。
わらわは確かにそなたと約束したぞ。
Right.
わらわの家具、煉獄の七杭を打ち破ったならとな。
Yes, furniture is rather ambiguous whether it's singular or plural.
さあさあおいでなさい、煉獄の七杭。不甲斐なき長女の6人の妹たち。
The air split with shrill laughter. And as golden splash scattered about, the remaining 6 sisters of purgatory showed themselves. All the 7 sisters of purgatory were here, after Canon was able to defeat one only by sacrificing his left arm. By now, Canon regretted his thoughtlessness in accepting the witch's challenge. He'd been foolish to assume that a game against a witch would be in an even footing.
お姉様、どうして床に這いつくばってるの？
お前たち。
Ah yes, Beatrice certainly loves giving hope and then tearing it away.
だからお姉様はダメなのよ。長女を偉そうに名乗るくせに上っ面だけなのよ。
まったくルシファーお姉様一人の集体が私たちへの評価を下げるのよ。恥を知りなさいなこの未熟者が。
カロンくん、すごいすごい。でもいい気にならないことよ。ルシファーお姉様なんて祝ってるだけで姉妹の子じゃ大したことないんだから。
だからルシファー姉は何もしなくていいといつも言っている。お姉様は威張ってだけいればいい。荒事はすべて優秀な私たちで片付けるのだから。
お姉様、どうする？私たちはお姉様のプライドを尊重してそのボロボロの体で再び挑むのを期待して手出しをしないつもりなんだけれど。でもカノン君は強いわよね。今のお姉様じゃもうどうあがいても勝ち目はないわよね。
Really not nice to their sister, are they?
お前たち。やれやれ、いつも賑やかな姉妹たちであるな。今は仲違いをしている場合か。
Yep,
そ
definitely.
なたらは7人揃ってこその煉獄の7姉妹であろうが、仲良くしてわらわの仕事を遂行せよ。迅速にな。
ねえルシファーお姉様、私たち妹の力が借りたいなら言ってよ。お姉様の口から助けを求める言葉が聞きたいの。
私をこれ以上苦労する気か。
愚かでひ弱で見苦しくて情けない。この長女のルシファーをどうか妹の皆様お助けくださいって。ねえ聞かせてよ。 それを聞かせてくれたら助けてあげる。それでいいわよね、みんな。
お前たち、おのれ。
The seven sisters of Purgatory unanimously closed in on their worthless sister, abusing her. Even Canon, who had been fighting for his life until a second ago, couldn't bear to look at it.
私がそのようなことを口にできるものか。
早くせよ。どうせお前一人では拉致が開かぬわ。早く七姉妹にてカノンを撃て。
そら、どうしましたかルシュは。お嬢様の命令ですよ。
ひどい。
After grinding her teeth over and over after hearing her sister's curses, Lucifer trembled all over and answered her sister's request.
愚かでひ弱で見苦しくて、
情けない。
情けないこの長女ルシファーをどうか。
The girl known as Pride was finally unable to endure the words she was saying and broke down crying. However, her 6 younger sisters kept giggling cold-heartedly.
ちょっと泣いてごまかさないで。まだいいっつってない。
もう十分だろう。さあ姉妹たち、我らの力を見せてやろう。
私は全部聞かなきゃ満足しないわよ。ほらほらお姉様、続けてよ。
もう十分よ。
Which ones are off again? I forget.
さあ、この屈辱は姉妹全員の屈辱。生かして返しはしないわよ。
さて、哀れな家具をどのように遊んでやろうかしら。素敵な提案はある？はい。ベルゼは仲良く7人でカノン君を分けっこしたらいいと思います。
良い提案だな。それでなら姉妹でみんな仲良しだ。
なら私頭部ね。手足はあんたらにあげるわ。やだダメ。私が頭なの。
そんな約束意味があるわけないでしょ。早い者勝ちに決まってるわ。
どんな殺され方がいいかカノン君の提案があったら教えてね。
How about in 30 years? How do you feel about that, eh?
7姉妹でとびっきりの殺し方をしてあげる。
ここまで恥をかかせたんだもの。八つ咲きでも足りない。百咲きにしてくれる。行くよお前たち。
The 7 of them burst at once. I'm wondering if we might get something similar to last episode where Canon was disappeared. We had no intention of playing or boasting. This time, they would genuinely follow their master's order. Take Canon down, swiftly. The 7 sisters jumped around the room faster than the eye could see, examining how they could best kill Canon. They tortured Canon with their cruel giggles, sometimes making a close pass at him. They kept scraping his arms, shoulders and cheeks, gradually carving red letters into his body. At that moment, Shannon dashed up behind him, holding onto him so that she blocked the way to his body at least a little. At the same time, a red cylinder wrapped around the two of them, like a beam of light sent from heaven. That cylinder repelled the evil ones who tormented Cannon. Right. You're not?
あんたは関係ないでしょ。きっとこれはあれよ。私たちと一緒に遊びたいのよ。なら私がもらうわ。いっただき。
ベアトリーチェ様、シャノンを私たちの獲物にしても？ああ、構わんぞ、好きにしろ。お前たちの悪時期にはカノン一人では足らなかろうしな。
ありがたき幸せ。さあ、シャシャリ出てきたことを後悔させてやろう。
どっちがどっちかわからないくらいの肉片にして、混ぜて混ぜてミンチにしてハンバーグにしてあげる。
バカね。それよりあの結界を破る方が先でしょうが。食い意地より先に仕事しなさい。
はい、お姉さん。
As a horribly natural first action, the Seven Sisters began to destroy the barrier Shannon had created. Shannon's barrier certainly was strong. It was powerful enough to impress even Beatrice. With its strength, frail furniture would turn to dust just by touching it. And it was firm, like a tree with deep roots. But, no matter how big a tree gets, it will eventually surrender to a saw or a hatchet. For the Seven Sisters, quote-unquote chopping down Shannon's barrier would be annoying, but not impossible. The sound, like beetles jumping about, grew even fiercer and filled the room. The red barrier began to be cut up and eroded away, as though with a hatchet. With an hatchet? With a hatchet. A saw, no, a chainsaw by now.
愚かな。君の結界ではその子たちを防ぎきれないことは知っていたでしょうに。なぜ？
見過ごせないからです。
Shannon covered Cannon, who was already at his limits, sprawled on the floor. She spoke back resolutely.
シャシャリでなければ眠るような死を与えてやったのに、なぜわざわざ七姉妹の前に身をさらすのか。死は同じではないぞ。苛烈な死は死してなお苛むぞ。
どうぞお好きなように。あなたがしたいことを好きにするように私もしたいことを好きにしたまでです。
どうにもそなたはこのところ面白みに欠けるな。恋というやつは達するかどうかのあたりが一番面白い。達してしまった後の女はさながら産卵を終えた鮭のごとしか。そなたにはもう飽きた。
ありがとう。魔女から聞ける言葉で最も嬉しい言葉です。
ならせめて最後にわらを思いっきり喜ばせる死に方をしてみせろよ。
She never will.
七姉妹を聞こえたな。シャノンの殺し方、お前たちの残虐の限りを見せてみよ。
シャノン。
申し訳ございません。やはり私には源氏様の高みには至れませんでした。
姉さんはバカだ。僕なんか放っておけば。 姉さんまでひどい目に遭うことは。
ううん、いいの。ジョージ様に指輪をもらって女として生きられたあなたをかばって姉として生きられた私の生はすべてこれで未練なく全うした。
イライラするぜ。その達観が本当にイラつくぜ。だから家具なんだよ。お前からは人間の匂いがしねえんだよ。わらわを見ろよ。わらわこそ人間だろうが。
I thought you were a witch.
家具のくせにわらわよりも完成されたかのような達観したかのようなことを言うんじゃね
醜いその未練があなたの正体なの。
For being an endless witch, you certainly have a short temper.
え。未練じゃねえ。それが生きるってもんだ。指輪もらったから死んでもいいとか。理解できねえ。さっぱりがっかり愕然呆然全然ダメだぜ。
Huh? Is she picking up battlerisms?
お嬢様、少し品がないかと。
うるさいわ家具が。シャーノン、楽に死なせてもらえると思うなよ。舌を噛むなら今のうちだ。
哀れね。もしも私の目にあなたのその姿が映ってそれが見えるなら己が醜さにおののくといい。
安心しろよ。てめえはそれよりさらにめちゃくちゃぐちゃぐちゃに生きながら醜く潰してやるからよ。
At that time, Genji softly entered the red barrier. Perhaps that barrier didn't block those without ill intent. Then, Genji gently held her from behind and covered her eyes with his right hand.
源氏様、
十分だ。先に休みなさい。
はいありがとうございます、源氏様。
After that, Genji softly pressed his left hand near her collarbone. As he did, emanating from that area, a crimson stain gently spread out. When Genji removed his hand, bright red, fresh blood oozed out of there. It only happened for the first instant, and it was shaped like a crimson rose. And when he removed his right hand covering her face, there was a peaceful expression there, as though she was sleeping. And she fell softly, silently, and slept. Her soul had already been sent to a world where the malicious witch and her furniture could not reach her, no matter how evilly they tortured her. This scene left Beatrice and her seven sisters stunned. Can't she bring her back? Only Renate wore a mysterious smile. Then Genji leaned over Canon, who was crouching on the floor.
よく頑張った。お前ももう休むといい。
はい、ありがとうございます、源氏様。
Just as he had done with Shem, he softly covered Canon's eyes with his hand, then gently pressed the air around Canon's collarbone with his other hand. And when his hand was removed with the lightness of a feather, there was a crimson rose there. That rose shape quickly turned into a stain, bright red blood pouring out.
何よそれ。
つまらぬやつ。生命の風船は針にてつき 威勢よく割るから面白いのだろうが。
見事です、源氏。それでこそ家具です。
ありがとうございます。それではベアトリーチェ様、ロノウェ様、これをもって私の最後のお務めとし、おいとまをさせていただきます。
わらわの楽しみを勝手に奪いおって。
She also knows that it won't be fun to try to torment him.
この二人をギッタギタのぐっちゃぐちゃにしたかった分、そなたがそれを変わるのであろうな。
Beatrice faced him with an unsatisfied expression. Voronove spoke quietly to Genji with a smoothing smile.
ご苦労でした。あなたは私の最高のしもべです。これまでの労をねぎらうに値する安らかな眠りをあなたへの最後の褒美として取らせましょう。
Interesting.
おい、勝手な真似を。
Voronove snapped his fingers. Genji slumped to the floor like a puppet with its strings cut. Suddenly, and yet gently, he crumpled, falling into a sleep that no witch could call him back from. It was as filled with kindness as the sleep he had given Shannon and Cannon.
なんだよ、ロノウェ。拍子抜けでつまらぬぞ。
お嬢様は偉大なる大魔女ではございませんか。この程度気に留めるほどにもございませんよ。シャノンごときの挑発で頭に血を上らせるなどらしくもない。
What was it that had Beatrice so irritated? Was she still unable to remove the thorn of Shannon's words? Or was it because of battle? Renova laughed lightly, as though lamenting the complexity of humanity in the woman's heart, and ordered the seven sisters to go. After all, there were still 2 sacrifices left for the first twilight. The seven sisters disappeared in ecstasy. Oh, back to normal size clock. Well, I think it's maybe slightly larger. 21 minutes past. Madame Beatrice. Beatrice. Goda was doing the nighttime rounds. Rokkanjima had always been empty, except for the Ushiromia family household. So, checking that the doors and windows were all closed had no real purpose. However, ever since the time Natsuhi had condemned such an attitude as being careless, the nighttime rounds had become part of a servant's daily routine. In the first place, Natsuhi had ordered this because of the occasional witch disturbances. Everyone who came and left this island knew about the legend of Beatrice, Witch of the Forest. It had become established as this island's characteristic ghost story. Because of that, it was only natural that some people would claim that, when they thought they were alone in the mansion, they would hear a strange sound or see the shadow of a person. However, that created a little too much of a disturbance and reached Natsui's ears. She made a fuss, thinking that some suspicious person might have been entering and leaving. Apparently, she had roused all the servants and had on check throughout the mansion. Because all of that panic over the witch had happened before Goda's arrival. He had only heard about it from more senior servants. Ghost stories like that could be found in any workplace. Even at the hotels and restaurants Goda had worked at. There had been plenty of them. So when he heard about that story on this island, he'd given a full smile, thinking, so we have that kind of thing here after all. That full smile aside, he'd figured that, when in Rome, do as the Romans do, and had taken it seriously. Goda went along with it on the outside, but in his heart he assumed it to be a childish trick. At first, that is.
これは確かに不気味ですね。なるほど。過去の使用人たちが いろいろと騒ぎたくなる気持ちもわかるものです。
He could understand how someone doing the rounds in an eerie night like this might believe they'd seen a ghost if they saw a lace curtain waving in the breeze from a window that hadn't been closed.
肖像画の魔女をバカにするとたたりがあるか。大怪我をして辞めた使用人もいるらしいし、怪我は勘弁だな。俺もこの年だ。二度とこんな厚遇の職場には恵まれねえだろうよ。ああ。
Yes, this will probably be your last workplace.
肖像画の魔女様、真面目に働きますんで、一つ穏便に頼みます。
Goda prayed to the portrait, his hands together, as though he was at a Shinto shrine. At that time, he thought he heard a sound. The kitchen? Was that the sound of something metal falling on the floor? Maybe a mouse or a cockroach had come out and knocked over some of the dishes. No, how could that be? It was usually cleaned thoroughly. Thinking he'd check out what that noise really had been, Goda entered the kitchen. He turned on the kitchen light. When he did, he heard a strange sound. Clank, 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 clank. To a cook like Goda, the sound felt like the lid on a pressure cooker or something shaking. Surely there wouldn't be a pot on the burner when no one was in the kitchen. Even if someone was using the gas, walking away from it would be quite dangerous. Just in case, Goda decided to inspect the area around the gas range. So, how's death going to come?
何ですか? これ
He's going to open it up and find, like, someone's head in it, isn't he? When he did, in the corner of the gas range, the pressure cooker really had been set out, just as he'd thought. But the flame wasn't on, and yet the lid was clanking. Oh, it'll be the, steak. Was something fermenting and leaking gas? How could that be? Then was there a mouse or something inside? How could there be? Ridiculous. When people were watching, Goda acted as though he had a bold personality fitting for his build. But he actually had an unexpectedly timid side to him. He was frightened that there might be something inside, and he couldn't bring himself to check it carelessly. In his cowardice, he grabbed a nearby wooden pestle, and with a clunk, he tapped it a little forcefully against the side of the pressure cooker. When he did, the clanking sound suddenly stopped. He should have been relieved that it had stopped, but the fact that it had stopped when he'd hit it was even more eerie. It made him even more suspicious about what was inside.
この世に怪奇現象なんて存在しませんとも。そんな魔女も魔法もそんなもの存在するわけがない。
Oh, well, you've sealed your fate now.
すべての現象は科学的に説明できるんです。お化けも魔女もいてたまるもんですか。
He repeated that many times, trying to build up his own confidence. The gap between what he was saying and what he was doing was quite comical.
何が魔女だ、何が魔法だ、たたりだ。空、正体を見せてみろ。空。
He removed the lid of the pressure cooker, and lying exposed there was the sparkling clean silver bottom of a pot. There was absolutely nothing frightening, like he'd imagined. Then what caused the shaking? Hello?
そりゃ当然です。
Oh.
中に何もいるわけがない。
By now, Goda realized that he had been a coward. So, while he still had some doubts as to what had caused the lid to make that sound, he figured it wasn't a big problem and decided not to worry about it too much. Yeah, it will be behind the lid, won't it? Yeah, I wonder. When he took the lid he'd grabbed and softly set it back down where it had been. It's fine. It won't make a sound. Of course it won't. As if witches or magic could exist. Clank. Clank, 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 clank. Clank, 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 clank. So yeah, he opened it, looked at the bottom, didn't look at the other side of the lid now, did he? Clank, 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 clank. And I think I will be ending it there for today. We'll see what's behind the lid next time. Until then, I hope you've enjoyed. Let me know any feedback you have in the comments. And until next time, see ya!